So there's been a big hubbub about who's relevant and who's not. 21 Savage says Nas isn't relevant. Boosie says Jay Z isn't relevant. And I'm gonna say they're both correct. In this day and age, Jay Z would probably sell more records if he dropped the album than Nas would. But my message is what I'm trying to say is that don't worry about that. Just be relevant to the people that check for you. Be relevant to the people that call themselves your fans. Be relevant to your family, your kids, your wife, your whoever that's in your inner circle. Be relevant to those in your life that look to you. Be relevant for the people that's checking for you. Because outside of that, none else really matters, man. Like, and I'm saying 21 Savage and Boosie ain't wrong. Boosie said when he go to the club, and he in the club a lot, 25 to 35-year-olds in the club, he don't hear Jay Z and he don't hear Nas. And even though Jay Z's numbers prove that he sells more than Nas, Nas is more modest as far as his numbers, but people tend to gravitate towards Jay Z because of his billionaire status, because of his boss moves and things like that. But what I am going to say is that it is the truth that as far as music in this rap game, we're proving that wrong every day that we continue on. And there's rappers like Nas and Jay Z that's still putting out music as far as saying it's a young man's game. But yeah, it can be an older man's game. But for the most part, it's a young man's game. And the young folks are not paying attention to Jay Z and Nas. But that doesn't mean that fans who started back in the day, in the 90s, when y'all dropped something, don't still have love for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of fans out here that still love you and still think that you're relevant. But my message would be relevant to those people. Be relevant to your fans that you have that are still checking for you. Be relevant to your family that are still loving you and still looking up to you. Be relevant to your sons and daughters that are still looking to you to be a great father. Be relevant to God that has held you together through so many things that you have been through. Be relevant to your nieces and nephews that are still looking for you to be a great uncle. Be relevant to anybody who's looking for you to do what you've always done in their life, and that's be great to them. Because when you look over these people, it not only hurts them, but it hurts you as well. It'll hurt you in the long run when you looking for somebody to help take care of you in your old age, or you looking to somebody to care for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, maybe you don't get that because you looked over a lot of people that wanted to care for you. Come on, we know we got women that worship the ground we walk on, but you pay them no attention because they're not relevant to you. Fathers, you got kids out here that are begging for 5 minutes with you of time, not money, but they're irrelevant to you. You look over them and they're not worthy of that time. But and mothers too, mothers too. But I'm gonna say this is more of a father thing than it is a mother thing. But mothers do this too. But you may have sons or daughters that's out here that's looking for you, that's looking to know why you weren't around. Why did you put them up for adoption? Why did you not be around when they were a child, and this, that, and that? They got questions. And to them, you are very much relevant in their lives, even though you haven't spent 5 minutes with them. You mean everything to them. And they want just a little bit of time with you. But you may be concerned with everything else that's going on in your life, and they don't really matter. They're irrelevant. And I'm not talking down on nobody because I'm guilty of this too. I'm saying this because it happens to the best of us, happens to the worst of us, but we all need to be better at it. I'm going to try to make myself better at it. I'm bad at a lot of things. I'm bad at a lot of things in my life, and it is what it is. But it don't mean I can't try to work on them. But listen, I'm gonna tell you, it's hard to work on things, on habits that are hard to break. That's why they call habits. They're very difficult to break. And I have become irrelevant to some people in my life because of some of my habits. Some of my habits that are hard to break, you know. I'm not the most joyous guy to be around at times, you know what I'm saying? You might get to arguing too much, this, that, and other. It's a hard thing to break. But I just want to say that it's not an easy fix for me. But I'm trying to work on it. But I also know that the way I've become to be what I am has also been due to some passed down stuff. Where it's like, I've been looking to people that I deemed to be relevant, and they have not looked back as to say, he's relevant to me. And in turn, I have done the same to people who have looked to me. To people who've thought, man, I just want to spend some time with you. I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. We where we are in life. And we got to deal with it. I'm attempting to deal with mine. I'm asking y'all, attempt to deal with y'all's. But I do know the pain of trying to fit a circle through a square hole. It doesn't fit. And sometimes I feel like that I don't fit when I'm looking to be recognized by said people and they don't, you know? But that's just something we all got to go through. It is what it is. But when it happens to you, how do you bounce back? And then furthermore, do you reevaluate your life and realize, I'm going to beat my head against the wall trying to be recognized by said people or trying to fit into said group when that ain't my group. Whole time my group was over here. But I've been so focused on fitting into this group that, I've deemed the group that I am actually from as irrelevant. Not through my words, but through my actions. And if I'm looking over them, how could they ever be relevant to me? So I'm trying to get myself to refocus and look to the people who look to me. And we try to be relevant to each other. Try to be better and do better by each other, you know? And maybe in doing that, I'll find my way to fit in. But it's a rough road. It's a rough road, you know? I know there was a music conversation that was to be had with all of that, but, my focus was just to focus on the relevancy because I know a lot of people going to say, this guy ain't, then they going to talk how they going to talk about the whole situation. But yeah, maybe they're not relevant to y'all youngins, but to their families, to they this, to they that, to them fans and this, that, and other, they are relevant. We all are relevant to somebody. And I would just suggest that since we are all relevant to somebody, that maybe you refocus your sight to see who you're relevant to and to try to treat them better. And I'm saying this because I have failed at treating people who look to me better. And I'm regretting it now. And I'm going to make a stance to try to do better going forward, It's something we got to do to try to better ourselves as people, man. But this your boy P Camp. Let me know what you think, what you don't think. Get at your boy.